Alright, so on to the military diet. This was a high school classic for my sister and I. So it wasn't my first attempt at all, but before this, I had never successfully done it. I don't know if you know that.
Really?
I had never done it.
Oh, so you lied to me.
I think you just assumed and I did not correct.
I feel betrayed.
I think you just assumed and I didn't correct. I was like, yeah, you can think that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
I had successfully done this for nearly a full year.
Yeah.
We went a little balls to the wall on this one because it was only a month. So we did try to do like 3 days on, 1 day off. Technically, you're supposed to do 3 days on, 7 days off. And then on those 7 days, you eat 1,500 calories, I believe. And on the 3 days on, your food should amass to about 1,200 calories, I believe, is what the... Now, this diet is not one where you have to get imaginative at all.
No.
They tell you what to eat, and you flip and eat it. And pretty much the only thing that I change on the diet is that, number one, I don't eat cheese because I'm lactose intolerant. And number two, I don't eat tuna. I can't. It's not...
I choked it down.
I didn't. So I substituted shredded chicken for my tuna. And for the cheese, I get veggie. There's like veggie slices of cheese. It's like a
My
substitute.
tuna, though, I have a funny story about it. One of my coworkers, I was opening it up and he's like, "What is that?" Just like he wasn't looking at me, so he's like looking around for the smell, and I was like, "Is it my tuna?" And he's like, "Yeah, oh my goodness, that's so bad, I feel like I could throw up."
Oh.
So then the next time I got chicken, because I was like, I got the albacore like all white tuna, and I'm like, if that's gonna bother him, like the cheaper tuna is gonna drive him insane.
Right.
So I was like, okay, well I'll go for chicken, and he's like, oh, that's even worse. I guess canned meats are just tough.
Yeah.
It's a tough sell.
So if you've ever heard of this diet and are wondering, it is not affiliated with the military.
No, they adopted the name to kind of lend it credence.
Yeah, to get people to do it and say, well, I mean, if it's good enough for the military, it's good enough for me, but sorry, Mythbusters.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, anytime you're like, the 3-day military diet, are you gonna eat MREs?
I'm like, no, we don't have that much of a calorie allowance, but thank you.
Right? So many carbs. But yeah, so, like I said, you've got the rules, so deering. What were your thoughts deering?
Deering, I really was not successful this go around. Like I said before, I had done this previously and done it well. I lost a crap ton of weight the first time I did it. I got really thin and I was like, well, I know it works, so I'll be able to do it again. No, wrong. I did it the first 2 times, and then after that I like restarted day 1 like every 3 days.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll restart day 1, and then I would do day 1, and then the next day I would eat whatever I wanted, and then I'll restart day 1. So I kept restarting day 1 over and over again.
I also did not see a lot of success with this. And I was one who was like, oh, we can do like 3 days on and a day off because it's February, so it'll amount perfectly 7 cycles, it'll be great. And then like I did it once, and then I could not. Like I would continually go back to the store and buy the food and be like, okay, tomorrow.
I think in the 3 days, or the 6 total days, I probably lost about 6 pounds, which is not bad.
I think it relies a lot on that. You will lose 11 pounds in 3 days, like with the prerequisite that you have water weight to lose, and we had just gotten off the cleanest eating ever.
Yeah.
So we didn't have that water weight to lose.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, there's not a lot for me to talk about on this one because, like I said, I only did it the 2 times, and then I just kept restarting it. Overall, I think in the month I might have gained, like I said, 3 pounds back from my previous diet. So overall, I've lost weight, but it's still not, that diet is not sustainable unless you are willing to then continue to restrict your calorie intake to like 1,200 and not go back up.
Yeah. You have to have like will.
Yeah.
And I do not.
Yeah, you know, samesies. Like, I'm not gonna.
Okay.
Like, and I was not interested in feeling hungry. I guess that's my biggest problem. Is like I was like,
well, that was the big difference between the two of them. The Daniel fast, it was like, eat what you want, you eat till you're full, you eat what you like.
as long as it's within these parameters.
Within these rules. And then this one was like, you eat what we tell you.
And if you're hungry, too bad. Like, there was no like middle ground there. So out of the two, I would prefer the Daniel fast. I mean, the food was more expensive and it was harder to do, like, to find food than this one, which is like, oh, you eat 2 hot dogs and some broccoli, but like, you're just not, it's just not satisfying. It's not filling. By the third day, you're like ready to, like, you see people's arms and you're like, that look pretty good. Like, you're ready to Jeffrey Dahmer pretty hard.
You're just sitting there like,
I could flank that up. Yeah, you like zone out a lot and it just wasn't good, and it's really not great if you are hypoglycemic. It's not a good diet for that. So I'm telling you that now. I did a lot of staring off into space and a lot of like getting up a little too fast and feeling that like lightheaded where you're like, oh.
That was fun. One more and then I gotta go. Alright, my aftermath, that's what I called it in here, so it obviously was not great, was that all of my numbers went back up. So like on the Daniel diet, or Daniel fast rather, I had gotten my numbers down below 100. It was still a high 100, but it was under 100. After doing this, my sugars ranged from 206 to 495 fasting.
Jeez.
Because, I'm willing to admit, a lot of what happened for me was I would be very hungry, be very peckish. I would eat something, get discouraged, and then binge.
Yeah.
So, and it was that cycle. Every time I'd restart, I would do it again. I'd be like, oh.
Yeah, I should add that when I did this, I was borderline anorexic when I successfully did this. I was very pro-Ana at that point, and it wasn't a healthy spot where I successfully did this. It wasn't because I was like, back in the day I just had all this willpower. I was unhealthy. And I mean, this isn't healthy either, but of the two, this one has me more mentally fit, I think, than I had, you know.
I feel like that's a whole nother blog topic.
You're right.
Like
that's a solo one.
That is in depth.
And that's if somebody wants to know. So again, comments.
Yeah. So for me, I gained 2.8 pounds from my January start. So I gained quite a bit back, but I was eating very unhealthily on this diet because I could not follow it. Which leads us to the ranking. Ease, 1 out of 5.
Yeah. 1 for that one day that you keep starting over.
Yeah. I said for the short term, the one cycle, it was relatively easy. I was very motivated. I don't know if that was like the high from the Daniel fast or what, but that first one, I was like, I can do this. It's easy. I got this. And then after that, I like dropped the ball and could not pick it up again. Yeah. So ease for me, I've said 1 out of 5, and that was regarding long term. I think if you're doing short term and you're like, man, I've got all this bloat because I've been eating poorly, like
Thanksgiving, something like that.
So, like, basically, what I'm saying is, if I wanted to undo some of the damage that I did trying to follow the 3-day military diet, I could have done the 3-day military diet.
Mission accomplished.
So, for effectiveness, I also said a 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5. Because, can you call something effective if you can't follow it?
I think I say 1 out of 5 for ease, unless you, like I said, you're just like ready to do it. Like if you're gung-ho, then you got this. And I mean, this was even knowing that Zita and Tabby were going to be doing it as well. That's like that thing where the people are like, well, you got somebody holding you accountable, and all they could do is be like, me too, I restarted.
Yeah, all of us.
But like, and then I think for effectiveness, I would go a little bit higher because based on the previous experience, I know that if you continue to do it and you do it correctly, this diet can work. Yeah, the 1,200 calories per day, whatever, that go down for the first 3 days are horrible. But once you get past that, if you can keep it going down, this does make your appetite go down. But you have to follow it. Like if you're going to have that effectiveness, you have to follow it. So I'm gonna give it like a 2.5. I already rank it and then rank it again. Whatever I said previously, scratch that, 2.5.
You know what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying. So yeah, which leads us into
Dun dun dun.
keto.
So I know we are tired.
So until next time, bye.
Bye.